time to talk about a much-loved member of the Chronicle family, Peter's old Chevy. Now, this car is literally Peter's vehicle for telling the kinds of stories he loves best in his series On the Road.
The stories about people who work hard for a living, who value tradition and family, who love the great outdoors. And they're about one particular place, the state of Maine. Why just Maine, you ask? I'll tell you. Maybe it's because Maine was once part of Massachusetts. It may be our shared maritime tradition. Maybe it's because Maine has resisted urban and suburbanization. The place looks and feels familiar to one who remembers a rural way of life fast disappearing in Massachusetts. But truth be told, it's the people who draw me to Maine. And they're not stereotypes, they're real. Independent, suspicious of big government, innately skeptical. And as the friendship writer John Gould informed me long ago, ever willing to welcome outsiders who make the proper approach.
You don't want to jump in until you're ready to swim. This delusion was created by people that approached somebody and asked the wrong question and got the right answer. That's
A few who fit the mold. Lobsterman Fred Temple out of Birch Harbor, who has no truck with those pointy-headed government regulators.
I kind of feel like that the lobsters are going to start downhill, which is what the scientists and all them sons of bitches would like to see, because they've been preaching all along there's going to be a shortage of lobsters.
Then there's Barna Norton of Jonesport, who planted an American flag every year on an island awarded Canada by the World Court. An outrage, said Barna.
Now, why do you go out there every year and plant the flag?
So that the people will know that we are not giving up our sovereignty and that we still own Machias Seal Island and we're not giving it up.
But for all the bluster, the Mainer has respect for homegrown authority. Even those who forced Dude Wing and his Flagstaff area neighbors from their homes to make way for a hydro reservoir.
My father was born and brought up to the legal authority. If anyone came, a policeman or anything, they cooperated 100%. But today there'd be TV against it, and there'd be somebody sitting in front of the bulldozer, and they'd get the name in the paper, and they'd stop the whole thing. You know, it'd be a worldwide.
It would never happen, would it, today?
No, never.
Then there are the women. Margaret Sawyer of Waterford, running marathons late in life.
Oh, I just like to run. I had run all my life.
Linda Greenlaw of Isla Ho, swordfish captain who survived the perfect storm and wrote about it in a best-selling book.
Obviously, whatever happened must have happened very quickly. They never got a mayday call off. You know, no bodies in survival suits, just 6 men in a boat gone without a trace, basically.
And Carrie Ward of Belfast, who turned her house into a shrine to Hollywood heartthrob Errol Flynn.
Somebody asked me once what I'd do, and they said if I ever had the chance to, you know, meet him, I said I'd follow him down the road to hell, and hell were the consequences.
Another attraction for me is Maine's often colorful history. I've tramped the trail where Benedict Arnold marched when he was on our side fighting the British, held the Congressional Medal of Honor, awarded Brunswick's Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain, whose heroism at Gettysburg helped turn the tide in the Civil War, and discovered long-forgotten films of early Maine life, including a documentary made in Port Clyde, whose real-life fishermen actors were all dead, except one. In the film, the character of young Milt Stanley is lost at sea.
None of the other boats are going out. It's coming on the blow.
Yet the film's only casualty is today the only living member of that cast of local fishermen.
I was the only one to take that part. Nobody else is superstitious to take it.
And I've had the kind of fun you'd have trouble having anywhere else, behind the wheel of a fire engine in Jonesport, piloting the steamboat Katahdin on Moosehead Lake, learning all too successfully how to call a bull moose in Greenville. There was a brief tense moment when your intrepid reporter was looking for a tree to climb. There were no trees. Anyway, Dan finally broke the spell before Yon Bull came looking for a fight.
This is it. This is close. I'm going to let him go. Okay.
And fishing some of Maine's classic waters, from Upper Dam Pool near Rangeley to the rapid Kennebec and Magalloway rivers, on company time no less. It's no boast, just fact that I've seen more of Maine than most natives, and as long as we stay ahead of the rest, the old Chevy and I will keep rolling on the road again.
Peter, one question people always ask me about the car is, what kind of mechanical shape is it in these days?
I'll tell you, Mary, it's in a lot better shape than I.
In 1996, a New Hampshire couple, the Budds, wrote us a letter.
Help us find our ultimate New England dream home that meets our criteria. Assist us in our quest to prove that small-town New England still does really exist.
The Budds hope to move to a picture postcard New Hampshire town, like the kind often portrayed in our main streets and back road segments.
Problem was, the Budds' criteria seemed a bit lofty. For $140,000, here's what they wanted.
I would say a 3-bedroom colonial on a lake, preferably newer because we don't have the time or the money to fix up an older antique colonial.
Where are they now? Well, guess what?
Do you want him in his height chair?
We're living in Newberry, New Hampshire, on the backside of Lake Sunapee.
And we got our colonial, and it is newer.
We actually have 2.1 acres. Price max, $140. We actually paid $130 for the house.
That was in 1999. Today, there is a new Bud, Kayla, and the house has grown, too.
When you walk into the other portion, it's really an addition off of what we would call the fun room, the kids' room.
In the end, everything is the way we'd like it. 4 years ago, it wasn't quite there, but now it is.